And I just want to say that this guest, of course, he is a brilliant student. He is an aspiring entrepreneur, but of course he is doing so much right now already. I don't want to say too much because I know I have so many questions to ask him, but I will introduce him. It is Abrar Rashid. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
You're very welcome. So how are you today?
Alhamdulillah, I'm very good.
Alhamdulillah, good. So I understand you are studying computer science at Imperial College London. So can you tell me a little bit about why you sort of decided to study computer science?
Yeah, so as a kid, I think I had quite a few things I wanted to be. I think I started with I want to be a footballer. I want to be an imam at some point. And then I think I wanted to be an astrophysicist at some point.
Right.
But I think at all those points, I wanted to become something, do something with my life. And I think I kind of geared more towards STEM and technology as I kind of entered sixth form. And I was kind of looking into the industry applications of each subject. And I was seeing that I would say computer science is the most applicable subject straight out of university.
Yes,
like whatever you learn to uni, you can apply that in your role.
Of course. And what was the support like from home?
Alhamdulillah, I think my parents are very supportive. Like they're not like traditional parents. They're like, you need to be a doctor or an engineer. But I think I was kind of going towards the engineering part anyway. So alhamdulillah.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. And of course, I know we're joined by your family today on our set, so it's amazing, alhamdulillah. So then you decided, of course, to study computer science. And what has it been like so far for you? Being first year, did you find it a bit difficult, or was the support there? What was it like?
Yeah, I think I didn't have much of a background in computer science in the past.
Okay.
I did it for GCSE, but it's like kind of still at the foundation level. And comparing myself to like people like my peers at uni, these guys were like, from age 5, 6, they were coding and stuff. So I kind of had a bit of a, I wasn't feeling in place at the time. But I think, doing things outside of uni, doing things in uni, my confidence improved. And alhamdulillah, like with the grace of God, I feel like, I want to start building things.
Alhamdulillah. Now, inshallah, you will, of course. I know you're already building so many things, and I will ask you questions about this, of course. But when you did apply to Imperial College London, was there something that stood out in your applications that you thought, you know what, this put me... You said that a lot of your peers already had done coding from like the age of, 5 or 6. So what made you stand out in that?
Yeah, so I'd say the main thing in my personal statement that I had was I had like a project on AI, and I think that was at the time when AI wasn't like floating around on people's tongues, and it was like manually creating a deep learning algorithm, and so I think that kind of caught the attention of whoever was marking my personal statement, and from there it was just demonstrating a passion whenever it came to like interviews, for example, the Imperial interview, and genuinely just enjoying having intellectual conversations about technology. And just working towards building things kind of led me to it and gave me the edge.
Alhamdulillah. And of course, now you're in your 4th year of university, and I understand you've done a very exciting internship, starting with, of course, was it Amazon?
So it was first Expedia.
First Expedia Group. Yeah. So can you tell me a little bit about what you did with Expedia Group?
Yeah, so I was an intern iOS engineer. So I was working on the Expedia mobile app, and my internship project was to build like a reviews component. Currently there was a reviews component at the time, but mine was to kind of be able to facilitate the incoming AI component, because I think what a lot of companies are doing now is to combine a lot of reviews that people have and summarize it into like one short review.
Short review, okay.
Yeah, fine. So that was my role.
And what did you think was the best part on that internship? What was it like?
I'd definitely say it was I'd say in the Gen Z terms, the vibes. Like the team I had was amazing. Like everyone was so friendly. The work ethic, it was good. And just being able to apply stuff I had learned, straight in uni into an application was nice.
It's nice, of course.
Yeah.
And how easy was it to find that internship? Because I speak to a lot of students, and I think when it is applying for internships, they find it's it's very difficult to apply for internships. They find that their experience isn't relevant.
Yeah.
So then, obviously, I'm sure because of your degree, it was what you were doing was a lot more relevant. So how did you apply yourself to when you were applying for the internship?
Yeah, I'd say if anyone wants to get into tech, start building a project. Find a problem in your life and start just trying to use things like ChatGPT use things like YouTube tutorials, and try to build a solution. There's like an abundance of resources now, and just start building something, and you'll develop that confidence as you go. And once you have that, you can put something on a CV, and then that's when you start doing something called leak code. So LEETCODE.
Okay, you're probably more well versed in it than I am. Yeah.
So I'd strongly suggest doing that. And yes, just start doing interview prep, and I think that's all you need for a tech role. And I think the superpower that I had, that I'd strongly recommend any viewer do, is just tahajjud. Like tahajjud is, I'd say I don't deserve any of these things. Like Allah just, chose to bless it because of tahajjud. So yeah, I'd say that's the most important thing, like aside from all of these things.
And of course, tahajjud then led you to more opportunities, of course, after that. Because I'm looking at the things on my iPad right now, and I'm thinking, wow. You then started working for Amazon as well.
Alhamdulillah, yeah.
So alhamdulillah, can you tell me a bit more about the opportunity that you had with Amazon?
Yeah. So I was in the AGI department in Amazon, and we were kind of working on creating AI voices for like Amazon services like Audible and Alexa and stuff. So yeah, I was kind of helping facilitate automating model deployment, AI model deployment. And yeah, still a very techie role. But I think what I want to do now is, like, instead of working on something really niche like that, I want to build something bigger and, solve an actual real world problem that Muslims face.
You are solving so many problems. I'm literally looking at it. I'm just like, where do I begin? But of course, then you have this tech startup, which I understand is called Suffer. Yeah. Can you tell me a little bit about Suffer, please?
Yeah. So it's not my startup, but I was joined.
Your friends, yes.
Yeah. I joined. So me and my friend wanted to solve a problem in the Muslim space, because we kind of wanted to improve the Muslim economy and increase our contribution in the world. And so we're thinking, what type of problem can we solve? And I think my dad actually raised this at one point. He was like, Muslims travel to different places, and it's always a struggle to have halal food and to find a place to pray.
Yes.
And prayer times are different in every place. So we kind of wanted to create a unified experience for this. And we kind of went to a lot of networking events and started talking about our idea. And we made prototypes by then. But with these prototypes, I think we were slightly behind another group of people that we only heard about after the event. And they were building something called Safar, and ours was called Musafir.
Okay.
So we were like, okay, I was thinking, should we compete or should we join forces? And I think as Muslims, we should, always try to benefit each other. And
I agree.
Being together, we can do something greater. So me and my friend, we decided to join these guys with Safar, and now, inshallah, we're on our way to building the first Muslim travel companion app.
Inshallah, it's going to be great, of course, and I can't wait to use it.
Inshallah.
And then, of course, now I understand that you have another project called Project Ihsan. And I've read it, and it sounds amazing. It's something that I think everyone can benefit from within our community, especially the youth. So can you tell me a little bit about this project?
Yeah, so Project Ihsan is an initiative that me and my cousins took. Alhamdulillah, we were blessed to be, studying in good places. And I think with that blessing, we have a responsibility. And that responsibility is to help, the rest of the ummah, come to a place where we can have impact in the world and be recognized in the world. And so Project Ihsan is a project to help create the next generation of Muslim pioneers in society, like doctors, engineers, entrepreneurs, lawyers, all of these things. And, kind of re-establish the Islamic golden age. So that was a time when, figures like Al-Khwarizmi, this is the guy that made algebra with his book Al-Jabr. And then the first, the Muslim woman, Fatima Al-Fihri, she's the one who created the first university in Morocco. So stuff like that, we want to, make Muslims become at the forefront of society again. And I think, Project Ihsan is an initiative we took to make careers advice, internships, tips, and stuff like that. We want to have master classes to help people, get into careers they want to get into. Maybe even in the future have networking opportunities, big events and startup accelerators.
Of course. Yeah. And is this something still in the works at the moment? Or
yeah, we just started very recently. We went public last week.
Oh, alhamdulillah, that's amazing. And of course, with the future events, how can someone take part? Could it be anyone in the community or just...
Even outside of the community, anyone who wants to, anyone who's ambitious and, wants to make a contribution to society, become something, yeah, just go over to see our Instagram. It's like the Project Ihsan. And yeah, we're going to start posting regularly soon, inshallah.
Inshallah, of course.
Yeah.
I think I was going to ask you a question about the projects that of course you said with Safar, you had someone who sort of had the similar project. At that point, how did you come to that decision? Like, you know what, I want to, of course, join forces, because you're thinking I could have something of my own, but then when you are working with someone else, I do believe it's not your own project, it's also theirs.
Yeah.
So how do you sort of fight those internal battles?
I think, yeah, it definitely was an internal battle. It took me a few hours to actually get myself to write the message, to rejoin. And then it took him like a few days to actually reply as well.
Ah, okay.
And
so he was thinking about it as well,
Yeah, he was thinking about it. And initially we had like a little meeting. And even then he didn't decide yet. He was like...
So it took some time?
Yeah, it took some time. I think like a week later, he was like, okay, let's join, inshallah.
So the other person, is he someone a lot older than you, or...?
He's, his name is Zakaria. He's a UCO chemical engineering graduate. And he's 2 years older than us, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. And,
so how do you find it, like working with someone a bit older than you? Of course, like you're young, you already know so much about the industry. Sometimes you have like conflicting views with people, of course, in the tech market, industry rather. How do you conflict that?
Yeah, of course. I think there's always something to learn. Like, I learned so much from him. Like, I really like his dedication and his like discipline on, like, for example, having meetings, regular meetings where we discuss our progress. And so it's teaching me a lot about how to build a startup as well. So like, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you some quick questions, and it's like a rapid fire, basically.
Yeah.
So if you could give some advice to our viewers, of course, our young viewers, and maybe the parents, what would you advise them?
Yeah, so for anyone who wants to get into tech, I'd say definitely find a problem in your life and start just solving it, because you have ChatGPT now, and it will guide you, give you step-by-step instructions on how to do it. I'd say for the parents, something like you might not be too aware of is, if you want your kid, আমি বাংলাতে বলি, আপনারা যদি চান যে আপনাদের বাচ্চারা মানে কিছু একটা হোক, মানে একটু খেয়াল রাখেন যে এখন আপনার বাচ্চারা কিসের উপর সময় কাটাচ্ছে। এবং একটা ডেঞ্জারাস জিনিস আছে এখন, শর্ট ফর্ম কন্টেন্ট, যেটা হলো টিকটক, ইনস্টাগ্রাম রিলস। সো এই জিনিসগুলা অ্যাকচুয়ালি ওদের অ্যাটেনশন স্প্যানে অনেক ক্ষতি হচ্ছে। এবং অ্যাকচুয়ালি ইনস্টেড অফ এগুলো ওরা অন্য জিনিসটা যদি সময় কাটায়, মানে একটা স্কিল তৈরি করে, সেটা ওদের জন্য আরও অনেক উপকার হবে। এবং এগুলোর উপরে মানে বাধা না দিয়ে আপনারা ইনসেন্টিভাইজ করিয়েন যে ওরা কিছু একটা ভালো করে সেটার জন্য একটা পুরস্কার পাবে। যেমন আপনি যদি মা হন, আপনি বলতে পারেন আপনার ছেলেকে যে তুমি এই সপ্তাহের মধ্যে 3টা পাস পেপার করো ম্যাথসের জন্য, তারপর মানে অ্যাট দি এন্ড অফ দ্য উইক আমি তোমাদের জন্য বিরিয়ানি বানাবো, এরকম একটা ইনসেন্টিভ, যেমন আমার মা বাবা করছে আলহামদুলিল্লাহ এরকম। সো দিস থিংস রিয়েলি হেল্প আ লট।
No, of course. Yeah. And what about for children just generally? I mean, you did say that if they're ambitious, they should join, of course, like do something a bit more about it. But what else would you tell them to do?
I'd say, definitely look at Project Ihsan. Like, try and see if you can join a masterclass, or try and find a course that you can engage into, because I think at that age we need some sort of like rails to hold us in place, so we don't waste time on something.
Yes.
And yeah, definitely do have fun, but what I'm just saying is, like, make sure to value your time, because later on you're going to realize the value of the time you had now.
I agree, definitely. And of course, the last question, because we are at the end of the year and you are our last guest of the year, thank God for that. Thank God for the last year, but of course we'll have you more on the show. Is that, what are the 5 things that you've enjoyed most about 2024?
Okay, the 5 things. I'd say the number 1 thing is the amount of stuff I've learned and the amount of stuff that Allah has given me the exposure to.
Alhamdulillah, yes.
Like this internship, for example, was it was 6 months long, so I had plenty of time to actually.
That was a lot of time, yes.
Yeah.
A lot of these internships, they end up being 1 week and you're just in and out.
Yeah.
And of course, 6 months is a good amount of time to learn something and really take it in.
Yeah.
Of course. And
it was a very good amount of time. And then another thing would be like getting into this entrepreneur space. Like, that was another. I think that was the next. I'll probably say that's the best thing. Like, opening my eyes to my potential and actually using the stuff I've learned in uni in something that I own, something that I can, like, have as an asset, for the ummah. Because I'd say if you work for a general company, because most of these companies are Western,
Yeah.
and I'd say it's our time now to start, helping the ummah thrive.
Yeah, of course.
And yeah, I'd say this entrepreneurship opportunity has really opened my eyes to helping the ummah.
Of course, alhamdulillah. And I mean, what a great way to end the year, of course, alhamdulillah. And wishing you all the best, inshallah, for,
Thank you so much.
the projects that you're working on. And of course, just finishing the degree. I mean, you're in your 4th year now, so it's going to be amazing. And I can't wait to see the amazing things that you do, inshallah. But thank you so much for being on the show today.